Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here with me tonight in another cooking class sponsored by Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies for the program Moms for Wellness. I am so excited because we have a full house today. We have almost 30 participants in the class, and we're going to have an amazing, simple, but delicious and very nutritious bean soup. Is a white bean soup with spinach and carrots and squash and all the veggies you have in the fridge. You know me. I always like to put veggies and spices and spice it up. I have some jalapeno, a lot of onions, some garlic. And through the class, I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to prepare things easier and how to prepare your ingredients. But also I have on my YouTube channel, I have classes specifically preparing certain things. So if you want to see me preparing the garlic or the onions or those things, so we don't extend the class too much, I have those short videos as tutorial. Okay, so my name is Chef Dulce Jimenez. I am a wellness chef and a health coach focusing on helping individuals, families, and moms-to-be to have a wonderful, healthy pregnancy and deliver healthy babies, right? And the whole family, when the mother is healthy and happy, the whole family is healthy and happy. It's a given. So it starts with you. And for me, wellness starts in the kitchen. And that's why I love these cooking classes, because it just gives you the option of using everything that you have in your fridge, make it delicious, and make it healthy at the same time. So let's start preparing the ingredients. Okay, so we're going to start preparing the vegetables for the soup. I have here about 4 small potatoes. I love to use the yellow potatoes. They're amazing for soup. They're very creamy. They have great flavor. I like this ones also for puree. I'm just gonna chop them. I love this knife because it has the holes in the middle, doesn't stick to the potatoes like the other knife, and it's very easy to cut the potatoes. It doesn't matter what cut you do, and you always have to put the potatoes in water so they don't get oxidized. You know, the potatoes and some root vegetables get brown if you don't put them in water. So while you're cooking, you should have a container with cold water. You can do this the night before. Keep them in your water container, and you're going to have them ready. This soup doesn't have a lot of vegetables, but even if you can do this the night before, will save you time. So now I have some other veggies here. I have a little bit of butternut squash, a little bit of carrots, and a jalapeno. This is not a Latin style soup. If it's a Latin style soup, I would put more of these ingredients, but this is just number 1, to use my vegetables. Number 2, to give flavor, to give texture, because I don't put thickeners in my soup like, butters or flour. I don't put none of that. So the vegetables will make it thick. Okay, well, now I'm going to change the knife, because then I cannot push the vegetables with that knife. You see, this is good to grab the food when you have this kind of knife. I love this knife. And anyways, this is a butternut squash, a little bit of carrots. Again, when you're making soup, the cuts are not that important. If I will be doing some kind of salad or some other dish that you're going to see the veggies, then I will have more care when I'm cutting the vegetables, but not for soup. Okay. So here, if you notice, I am doing the jalapeno at the last minute, because then my hands are going to be full of that spice. And I don't forget. Now I'm going to have onions. When you cut the onion, I always wash all my vegetables with vinegar, even with the skin. Then I cut the top and the bottom in the garbage. Then I put it in my in my cutting board, because when you leave the top and the bottom of an onion that has all the dirt, you will bring that dirt to your cutting board, and you don't want that. So the way you cut the onion is you make open your palm, make some pressure with the cutting board, and then you cut two slices, and then you cut horizontal, then you cut slices vertical, kind of the same size of the onion, and then when you cut them again, you will have all your little pieces already cut. It's so easy. I know when you start doing that technique, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but then it becomes so natural and so easy that you will not do it any differently. I will have a whole onion. When I'm making soup, I like to use a whole onion or even onion and a half, because that's what I'm going to flavor your soups. And this is a very simple soup, but it's very, very nourishing because you're putting all these veggies, and it has beans and it has spinach. I don't know if mustard greens will be good. You can try it with mustard greens. It might be good. Mustard greens are uh, very pungent. I'm gonna do this cut again. This is even easier with this knife. I have this knife, which is the chef knife. This is like a Japanese. This has a name, but I forgot. Patch or something. I'm gonna use my chef knife because my chef knife, you see, I leave a little bit of the back so it holds. Then I'm gonna put my hand open and I'm gonna slide horizontal twice and then vertical slice following like the lines of the onion. And then I'm gonna do my dice, and you see how easy this come out. Yes, they're already sharp. Never do that because knife can cut you. My knife is very nice with me. I actually have never had a cut with my knife. You can use this to pick up your vegetables, which is awesome. This is super good when you're roasting vegetables and you need to move them around. You can use this as well. But this is a nice tool that I like to have on hand. So onions here. At the end, take your hands, your fingers out of the way always. Just take them out. I have been cutting for more than 20 years with this knife. This is actually the knife from my university when I graduated in 2005. 2005, I graduated from Johnson & Wales with a culinary arts degree. And this is the knife and has my initials. We all put our initials when we were in school. And I have this knife very near and dear to my heart. Had never cut me. I have had really stupid cuts with, lids of a can and, other utensils, but this knife has never cut me. Anyway, so I have onions, I have carrots and butternut squash, I have potatoes, I have clean these are just white beans. You can use cannellini beans, navy beans, yeah, any white beans you have. This, I just rinse them. They're canned to make it a quick meal, but if you want to do it from scratch, will be amazing as well. And this is 2 cans. I rinsed them. I took all that water and I have it ready. This is about a cup and a half of spinach. You can do kale. You can put mustard greens. You can put callaloo, I think it's called. It's kind of a hard green leaves, very it's like collard greens. You can also use that. You can also use chard. And the herbs, we're going to use rosemary and bay leaves. Okay, those are the herbs we're using. Salt and pepper and Italian herbs. That's what we're using tonight. And garlic. I forget the garlic. So somebody asked me about rosemary. Rosemary used to be used for women to have better flow with their period. So there is some concerns about using rosemary, but we're using very little rosemary here and we're cooking with it. So it's not that you're taking supplements, but if you want to leave it out and just put thyme. In the Italian spices, you can have a combination of Italian spices, but this one also has rosemary, but you can just have dry thyme or fresh thyme, okay? So I'm going to bring the stove and we're gonna start cooking. Oh, let me do the garlic first, okay? I'm gonna just crush some garlic in my amazing, this belonged to my grandma, it's a little bit eaten. I'm peeling my garlic, and remember when I peel the garlic, I have teach you to cut the middle of the garlic, which is the sprout. When you cut the sprout, you take the green part. You see this green part? You should not be eating this. Okay, so you take that out. Take this out. I'm gonna get some pieces of the jalapeno, and I'm gonna smash the jalapeno, a little bit of salt and garlic in my mortar, or the way we call this pilon. And then we're gonna start cooking, okay? Okay, so I have decided to add some celery because I was reminded that I have celery in the fridge, and celery is a very common ingredient that you can use in all your dishes because it doesn't impart a lot of flavor, but it gives more consistency, more flavor, but it doesn't overpower. So I already cut my jalapeno, just very little. It's not even a full jalapeno. This is not a Mexican or Latin soup, so I'm gonna keep it kind of Mediterranean-ish, Italianish. This is cilantro, but I'm not using cilantro in this soup. I just love cilantro and I want to see it in the recording in my class. But anyways, I love cilantro, but I'm not using cilantro. Again, these are the herbs I'm using. So if you want to cook with me in advance, it's a little bit difficult because you will have to have all the prepping done, but it's possible. But I will have all my recipes in my YouTube channel. When you go to the class, you will find the recipe of whatever class I'm doing. So here I have the garlic. Again, I took the sprout from the middle of the garlic. You see the sprout is out. Now I'm going to put a little bit of salt, about a teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to, pound it until it becomes like a paste. And I think we're going to be ready to cook soon. This is my garlic puree. I love garlic. I can just eat this. Anyways, we're ready to cook. Okay, so I'm ready to start cooking my vegetables for my soup. Let's turn on, got beautiful, turn on full flame. Instead of oil, like all the recipe says oil, we're gonna put a little bit of the stock. That's about 3 tablespoons or so. You can eyeball it. Always first you put the onions. Always gonna cook the onions. So this is kind of the sofrito. Italians call it sofrito, onions, garlic, and I think onion, garlic, what else they put in the sofrito? Maybe some peppers. We Latin Puerto Ricans, we also put peppers, garlic, onions, some maybe cilantro in our sofrito based on what we're gonna make. You know, for Asian food is or Indian food, which I love, and I cook a lot of Indian food. Onions and ginger and garlic, and then you add tomato paste. So each cuisine has like their own version of sofrito or aromatics that they use. So I'm going to cook these onions until translucent, and then about, I will say, 3 to 4 minutes. Then I will add the garlic, and then I will add the peppers, and like that. I will let pass a few minutes before I add each ingredient. Okay. If you don't have any stock, you can add water, or if you only have the stock strictly for your soup, you can add water to start it and have water on hand. So you add little bits of water while you're cooking so your vegetables are not burning. For this soup, I'm using vegetable stock, vegetable actually clear broth, because I'm gonna keep it vegetarian. I can add some cheese on top at the end, or some feta, or some Parmesan cheese, which is gonna be great with Parmesan cheese. But if you have chicken stock, you can use chicken stock as well. But in this case, I'm using vegetable stock. Okay. And now I'm gonna add, I love the sound of the cooking. I love the smell, the aromas. I'm gonna add my garlic, and I think I'm gonna add almost everything. Actually, not almost, I'm gonna add all the garlic. I love garlic. I don't wanna leave any. Okay, so all the garlic out. You have to keep an eye on. I have a very full blast because I want to do this quick, but you can lower the heat a little bit. Actually, I'm going to lower it a little bit because it's burning me and burning my phone. And I'm going to put a little bit of the stuff here so I get all the garlic out. You see, it's kind of drying now. So I'm not gonna let it dry. I'm always, stirring it and keeping an eye on it. So you don't want burnt onions or burnt garlic. So I'm gonna get all the garlic out of my pillow. Put that garlic water in there. So yummy. Okay, so we're gonna put the dry herbs. Dry herbs goes first. If I'm putting fresh herbs, it will go last. But dry herbs, these are the hard herbs. Hard. These are hard. H-A-R-D. Hard herbs. Cilantro is soft herbs. If I'm using cilantro, I will put the stalks of the cilantro at the beginning, but the leaves at the end. Because this is a hard herb, I'm going to put it at the beginning of the cooking. And this is a primarily flavor. This is the herb that is going to be primarily part of this soup. So it's going to be rosemary and dry Italian herbs. When you're using Italian herbs that are dry, you're going to also activate the oils and put it in. Oh my God, I can start smelling the delicious rosemary. I should have chopped the rosemary a little bit, but it's okay. So I chopped the rosemary, and oh, the other day I did rosemary and this yellow potato that I'm using for the soup. I just put salt, pepper, rosemary, and the yellow potatoes with olive oil, and I roast them. Oh my God, they're so good. Rosemary is very good. If you are afraid of using rosemary, you can do the same thing with thyme. Okay. Now you see the onions are very soft. I'm going to add the rest. I have carrots, squash, celery, and jalapeno to give it a little bit a kick, though it's not going to be a lot. This is just like a quarter of the jalapeno. And this is a white soup, so I'm not going to put tomato sauce. Like if I were doing usually some soups, most of the soups I put. You can make this soup with black beans and put cilantro instead. And then you can put um a little bit of tomato paste. Because this is a bean soup, it will take a little bit more salt than usual. I'm gonna put some pepper. I'm gonna put salt at this point. Minute there to get happy and get the flavors. But you see, it's very simple. If you do the vegetables the day before, you can have this soup in 15 minutes. Now I'm gonna add the chopped potatoes. This is basically potatoes and beans. Okay. I'm gonna leave a little bit of these potatoes for breakfast tomorrow. Yeah, because there's plenty. I'm gonna get a little bit of them. Yeah. I think 3 would have been enough. I cut 4 of them. I'm gonna leave a little bit. You see, I can keep this. I can clean the water, take this water out, put new water, and keep it in the fridge. And tomorrow I can use it for breakfast and just dump an egg on it and call it a day. And we'll have an awesome breakfast. Now, oh, nice. Now I'm gonna put the beans. And 4 to 5 cups of the stock. Let's see. Okay. Yep. Those are gonna do it by eyeballing. Yep. I think 4. Yeah, those are 4.5 cups of broth. I'm gonna taste it. Yep. That's good flavor. I can taste the oregano. I can taste the rosemary, the garlic. Now I'm gonna let it boil. Then I'm going to lower the heat and cover it. And I'm gonna leave it about 20 minutes. You can put bay leaf. I'm gonna put 1. I'm gonna give a lot of bay leaf flavor, so 1 is enough. And I'm gonna leave it cook for about 20 minutes. Then we're gonna blend a few ladles of the soups to make it even more creamier, okay? So the soup has been cooking for about 20 minutes. I took a cup and a half of the beans and the potatoes and the vegetables, and I'm gonna blend it and I'm gonna put it back. So every time you're doing that, make sure you take the middle of your lid and let the steam comes out, and then put a towel covering the entire blender. And we're always starting low. This is a very potent blender. I always also, this is the Vitamix. I always take it out of the Vitamix because this is very sensitive and you can heat it and start again. So now that I blended, I'm gonna taste it. I blend just a cup and a half. I didn't blend the entire soup. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Wow, yeah. I can taste the rosemary. I can taste the saltiness and the flavors of all the ingredients I put. I'm gonna add miso paste to give it a little bit more of the umami flavor, and I'm gonna blend it again. So now all the vegetables and the beans are tender. You can see they haven't lost completely their shape. And I blend about 2 cups of the soup. I added a little bit of miso. Taste it and then adjust the flavoring and look how creamy. Now I'm gonna add the spinach. I just want the spinach to wilt. You can add here kale. I don't know if I will recommend a Swiss chard. You will have to try a little bit. I will, if you're gonna use like collard greens, you have to let it cook the collard greens a little bit more. But those are greens like mustard green, collard greens, callaloo. Those are greens that are bitter. So I want you to taste it. I have never done it with those greens. So taste it on the side, take a cup of your soup, put the greens or put it aside in another pot and cook it in separately. And then you taste it and then you make your own decision if you're going to put those, because I cannot tell you how it's going to be with all other greens that are bitter. I have done it with kale, with tart, and with spinach, and they're fine. So let's give it a look at nice. The taste is like a chowder. Okay, I'm gonna finish it up with Parmesan cheese. So I have a block of Parmesan in here. This is little pieces of Parmesan. We can put it like that. I'm gonna have my little mini. I love this one. Now I'm gonna put. I'm gonna turn it off. I don't want it. I don't want the beans to scorch. I'm going to put plenty of Parmesan, and I'm gonna actually put a few pieces, very chopped pieces of the Parmesan that will also give it a umami flavor. And you see, I have cooked with no oil, right? It has no olive oil. So now at the end, I'm just gonna do a tablespoon of olive oil at the end, and I'm not cooking it. Or you can even do it when you serve it, okay? Now, gee, this is so delicious. Oh, mm. Oh wow, I wish you can smell it. Now, let's taste it. Oh, oh wow. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Now I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna change the camera so you see me tasting it again. And let's play it. So here you have the soup. I don't know if you can see it that well, but I'm gonna show you here. It's so creamy. You will see the photo in my YouTube channel, but I'm gonna give it a try. It's like a white bean chowder. It's very hot, but I want to try it. Wow, you can put a little bit more of the Parmesan cheese. You can eat it with a garlicky piece of bread. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Wow. I don't want to burn myself. Mm. Wow, this is so delicious. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. I love the creaminess of the white potato. I love the rosemary in the back, the thyme. It's umami. It's like not spicy, but it's like salty but mellow. It's very heartwarming, I'm gonna tell you. And it has everything you need for a full meal. This is a full meal. And if you put your greens in there, just wilt them, you will have a delicious soup, hearty, delicious soup every or any night of the week. And this is good if you want to freeze it. Make a huge pot like this one and have a few, like I just like to do 1.5 cup and freeze it in different in separate portions. So that way I just have one portion for me and get it out like that, and very easy to pop it in your stove, and please don't microwave it. But anyway, thank you for being here with me tonight, and I hope you like it. I hope you make it. And if you're watching on YouTube, please don't go away without giving a thumbs up, liking it, share it, and bon appetit. Goodbye. See you next time.